Hello and welcome to another Wizard Wants to Watch video. If you weren't aware, we have a new ban list coming into effect on October 3rd. So what I want to do is sort of show off some decks that you can play in this new format. I know in previous formats I've kind of been stunned by the ban list, not really knowing what to play. So hopefully this will give you a good starting point. Now you might be surprised to say, wow, Dragon Link, before Bystial comes out in Darkwing Blast, it is possible. Is it good? You'll do okay at locals. I'm not promising anything higher, but basically, I drew a lot of inspiration after Chaos Ruler ban, like, oh, okay, how do we play this deck before Chaos Ruler came out? The only difference is, from 2020 to now, back then we had Guard Dragon LP, and we had more than one Striker Dragon, but I think we still have something that can at least compete with the meta at locals. So we're going to start off, you got the Rocket Package, so your 2 Tracer, your Recharger, 2 Synchron, and 1 Abs, as well as your 3 Quick Launch. I think the ratios are fine here. Normal Rocket Synchron is a lot better now that you're not playing Adventure. With banning of Helki Firebrax, there's no real way to get into Red Rose Dragon. So playing Adventure isn't really as good, because you're basically playing at that point for Griffin and locking out your normal summon effects. So yeah, I don't think 3 Tracers needed, but you can always play with the ratios if you like. Go 3 Tracer, 1 Rocket Synchron. It's up to you. Next, we play some sort of big dragon extenders. You got your 2 Nocto and your 1 Destrudo. I think Nocto Dragon fits a lot better now that we're not playing adventure cards. It's one of our outlets to draw an extra card so we can get to an extra hand trap or whatever card we need to deal with our opponent's plays. And then Destrudo is just a good, if you've already hit your Abs Router through one way or another, it's another good discard for Dragon Ravine. Next, we go into our Chaos Package, which is back to its former glory. We have the 3 Starleash Seifert, the 3 Chaos Space, your White Dragon, your Black Dragon, your Levianeer, and your Chaos Dragon, Dragon of Armageddon. These are pretty self-explanatory. Without Adventure, these are like your main play starters. Like this, either one of these, this plus any light or dark card, will get you into your Romulus, which can get you your combo started. This comes in handy recycling your Striker Dragon as well. Both of these you can get back if you discard them off Dragon Ravine, for example, with Seifert's second effect. As well, you need ways to banish your Striker Dragon or other cards, Light or Dark Monster Cave, normal summon or set, in order to get off the draw of Chaos Space, because we don't have an easy way to get it back with Chaos Ruler being banned. So that's actually an explanation there. You have this to also draw, so you can get to one of your hand traps. Next, we get into the one-ofs. You go Dragon Ravine, Boot Sector, Call by the Grave. Pretty self-explanatory. This didn't get banned, so you might as well keep playing it, especially now you're a little more vulnerable to hand traps without the Adventure Engine, so Call by the Grave can be pretty good. As well, even just setting this and using it on a TR Element monster on your opponent's turn can be pretty good. Your last one-of, before I get into the hand traps, as a Seals target, you're playing Grand Tusk Dragon. You might not have heard of this card. It's pretty new. It's from Power of the Elements. When it's normal or special summon, you can destroy up to 2 monsters on the field, and they gain 600 attack for each. So what you can do with this, even if you go Seals Pass, you can Seals, bounce a card, summon this out, and then pop 2 more cards. So pretty good interruption on your opponent's turn to be able to hit 3 monsters. Next, we go into the hand traps. We go Triple Veiler, Triple Crow, Triple Nib, and Triple Ash. So these 2 are pretty self-explanatory. This hits both Sprite and TR Element, especially after the ban list and before Darkwing Blast. This Veiler is pretty good. You can hit the Kalos Surge, as well as Ash can do that too. Ash seems like kind of iffy, but you want to essentially draw 2 of these, and you're going to be able to do well. Ash doesn't do that much on its own, but with another hand trap, it's going to put in a lot of work. And then the last 3 cards in the deck, because we're not playing Adventure now, you can afford to play 3 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. This is one of those, you draw it, you flip it. You're only controlling dragons by your end board because it's either something like Savage and Borland or Seals, Savage. So you're playing pretty well. This is also going to force a Super Poly, for example, because after they resolve it, unless they're playing Starving Venom, which people don't anymore, they won't be able to fuse away your stuff for Garura. So that's the main deck, 41 cards. Hoping to test it once the new format's in play at locals, so I will be sure to let you guys know how it goes. Extra deck, synchros, we're down to just 2 because there's no point in playing Hot Red because we don't have Chaos Ruler. Can't play Chaos Ruler, it's banned. No point in playing Shooting Riser or Baron de Fleur because we're not playing Adventure, so it's basically just Savage. And then Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight, this is just the time card, or it's pretty good for clearing your opponent's monsters. Rest of the extra deck, at least till Bystial comes out, you have so much like flex. Like every flex spot is filled with whatever you want. I don't think if you guys think of any other Link monsters you should be playing over the ones I'm playing, please let me know because I think I've pretty much covered every base. For your Link ones, you got Striker, Pisty, pretty self-explanatory. The Pisty lineup, you're able to set it up with Quad Boral instead of Triple Burst, for example, but you can still do Triple Burst if need be. For Link 2s, you got Delindrus, Romulus, Quad Boral, Seals, IP, and Dark. So those two, pretty generic. You know what they do. Romulus searches field spell, Seals, you know what they do. Quad Boral and Delindrus can be a pretty interesting thing. What you do is you set up essentially your Quad Boral and your Pisty to be your way to set up the Pisty arrow. You summon back a rocket. You link it into Delindrus. Quad Boral effect, pop the Delindrus, summon 2 rockets from graveyard, get the Delindrus back, and then that's how you get to Borderland plus Borreload Savage. For Link 3s, you're playing Triple Burst and Unicorn. This is just for going into IP. And then Triple Burst is in case you have like a non-dragon monster, like if you have to use like Dark to get to your Pisty line if you're going second. Link 4s, you have Appaloosa and Access Code. This, I don't know how often you'll go into it, but I mean, we have the room in the extra deck. It's going to come up, and if you have enough extenders to sort of go into that, put a Pisty under it, and be able to continue your plays that way. Or you can use it with IP and summon it on your opponent's turn if you're already Dark locked. And then the last extra deck card is Borderland. You know what Borderland does. With the combo I just explained with the Quad Boral and the Delindrus, you're still very capable in getting into Borderland on turn 1. So that's the deck. Side deck, I think you really just got to hit like the board breakers, like Forbidden Droplet, hit the going first cards, even though a Pointer or the Lotus is now at 1, I still think it's worth playing at 1. You hit the spell trap removal, like the Cosmic Cyclones, the Harpy's Feather Duster, and whatever other hand traps you think need to be in your side deck in order to go second. So that's my take on this deck. Watch out in the next couple days. I'm going to be giving a deck profile for another deck you can be playing in this format between the BANLIST and Darkwing Blast. Until then, see you in the next video.